Right, it's time for a new bike. My SL6 is having some problems with its fork steerer tube, and I need a bike to tide me over while I get that sorted out. So, what dropped into my lap was a sale of a Factor 1 in size 52 silver, more or less half price. So I've always had my eye on these bikes. I think it's an interesting company, which is under control. It controls its own factory in Taiwan, and therefore is kind of very on top of the process of manufacture. And it's kind of a boutique brand at the moment, but that's nice because they have a very direct and close relationship with the factory, and quality control and all the rest of it looks to be pretty good. This Factor 1 came out a couple of years ago. It obviously is focused on aero, so I'm quite keen to try a bike where I make no concessions other than to aero, basically. So giving away a bit of weight compared to the SL6, this frame is, I believe, in the region of 1100 grams, so that's kind of 250 grams more than an SL6. It has a split down tube, which is kind of funky. You can see the front wheel as you're going along, and all the kind of classic aero cues, the drop seat stays, aero seat tube and post, and slightly deeper tubes all round, and a widely spaced fork, all that kind of stuff. So it should be pretty aero. I'm going to do a few tests on it when I get it all built up to check it all out and see how it goes. But the other thing that's thrown into the mix is that they have just brought out this Ostro. Now this, to my mind, is a potential SL7 beater, because if the advertised weights are correct, and there's always a bit of doubt over that, this is lighter and possibly more aero than an SL7. The color choices are quite funky, and I mean, basically it's borrowed a lot of cues from the one. The frame shape is similar. They have gone for a less complicated head tube. You can see they haven't gone for the split head tube thing, but so it's perhaps a touch less aero than the one, but quite a bit lighter. So what I've done is I've ordered one of these because they're all sold out and I can't get one until March. And when it arrives, I will build it up, compare it to the one, and sell whichever one I prefer. So that's the plan. And as you may have seen, I didn't really want to go down the disc route because I think it's unnecessary. But the way the industry's going, they've kind of left you with no choice. This Ostro is not available in rim brake, neither is the SL7. So I feel like at some point I'm going to have to go with disc brakes. So I've got no plans to sell the SL6, so I still want a light rim brake bike. And you know, you just simply can't beat rim brake bikes for weight, because I've got an Excel spreadsheet going for these two bikes, and by the time you've added on the actual discs themselves, the heavier shifters with the hydraulics in, you know, you just can't get close to a rim brake weight. So, and I'm still, if you're not riding in the wet, and here in Mallorca we just don't do that really, then discs are kind of superfluous. And I'm curious to actually try them extensively, doing some pretty full-on high-speed descents in the dry, and see how, if the modulation is better in braking, see if I get better times downhill. And maybe I do because of the aero side of things and not the brakes, but it would be interesting to try them and see. So I'll report back on that. These are the wheels which are going to be on these bikes. They are Caden wheels. This is the Decadence version, which is the kind of upgraded version, which is lighter and not that much more expensive. And these are actually tub disc wheels, which are a little bit hard to find, and they weigh just 1,230 grams for the pair for a 59 mil depth, which is kind of world beating really. There's very few that are lighter than that, especially at this price level. 1,200 euros I paid for these, which is excellent really. So they're actually lighter than my borers, but these are disc wheels, so that's quite an achievement. And they come also, that weight includes this counterweight. Where is it? That's the valve. So if we go around the other side, you can see they've inserted like a bullet thing in here inside, which is a counterweight to the valve, so they should be perfectly balanced. The carbon layup is thicker where the spoke goes in, and thinner where it's not, so thin, thick, which helps keep the weight down. And yeah, they should give a nice aero boost on an aero frame. So we'll see how they perform. Shimano, of course. Yeah, so gonna report back on all of this. I will be doing a comparative test on a little bit of test track road that we've got here in Palma between the rim brake SL6 and the Factor 1, hoping to have that all built up within about a week. Everything should arrive, Dura-Ace Di2 mostly. So yeah, that'll be interesting to see how that all comes out.